Hey, welcome back everybody to Game 2 of Sparkyz versus SKT1, and the last match Sparkyz has in Round 2 of the 9-10 Pro League season. Round 2 has been trouble for them, but they are on a little bit of a winning streak right now, closing out the round, and that is looking good. They are also on a little bit of a winning streak against SKT1 right now. They swept SKT1 in Round 1, and now they are up 1-0 in this matchup right here. So this is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg. We have YellOw versus Su, and I gotta tell you, I don't think I've ever watched Su play. I'm just gonna call him Su from now on. Maybe Susie. We'll see how it goes. But YellOw is I'll go ahead and tell you this. YellOw ArnC is actually in yellow here as the yellow Zerg in the east, and Su is going to be the red Zerg in the west. And if you'd have asked me like 2 weeks ago, if this matchup was happening 2 weeks ago and you would have asked me to predict, I would have probably said that I have very little faith in YellOw, because he had been struggling quite a lot this season. He has had a terrible start of the season, really, but he has won his last 2 games and has improved his record up to 4-7, and both of these past 2 games were ZVZs against pretty quality players. I mean, his first one was a win against Roro, and then last week he beat Savior in a ZVZ. So it seems that YellOw's ZVZ skills have come back to him. YellOw has the tendency, I feel, to be a pretty streaky player. You know, when he gets in slumps, he usually slumps pretty hard, and when he's succeeding, he usually does a very good job. But so far this season, it has been mostly slump and very little success, but hopefully these last 2 games are going to give him a little bit of momentum. And it looks like once again, I wasn't paying attention, which is annoying. I should really start paying attention to my Zerg versus Zerg wars. Zerg versus Zergs more, because the openings can determine a lot, but that looked like a 12 hatch coming from Su, and I think that was another 12 pool coming from YellOw. So in both of those EVZs, he went for 12 pools, and in both of those games I said that I was a fan, and I am still a fan, going 12 pool and then expanding. That might have been an overpool expansion, I'm not sure. Once again, I wasn't watching the timing, but either way, it's going to be pretty safe builds for YellOw, and he's going to be able to defend in case Su was going to do anything crazy. Since Su's not doing anything crazy in terms of early lings, you know, YellOw's going to be in a good position to get his economy up and rolling, and he might be able to do a little bit of pressure with his first lings against this 12 hatchery, although that seems unlikely, especially with the distances in this map. But so once again, I feel like YellOw is in a pretty good position, and it's really up to him. You know, this matchup is going to be moving in most likely later into the game, because both players going for pretty good economy builds, both 12 builds, I mean, and not early lings, and that means that it's really going to be up to micromanagement. And I think that, you know, YellOw is starting to bring me back into his camp. I'm becoming a YellOw believer again, and I've been really impressed with his micromanagement in these past couple of weeks, and I think that he is going to have a good shot against this relatively unknown player, Su. Su has come in for SKT1 and actually done pretty well. He's 3-3 this season, and really he's been getting all of his games since Hyuk went on just a huge losing streak. He started out this season really hot, and a lot of people were thinking that Hyuk was going to be the new Zerg to beat in the StarCraft scene, but it proved that Hyuk was still the same old Hyuk that we're used to, more or less. And he, you know, after getting off to, I think, something like a 4-2 start, he ended up losing, I don't know, 6 or 7 in a row. And so now SKT1 is definitely looking for other options to field in Zerg. And SKT1 has really suffered because of Hyuk's underperformance. They've dropped from, when we first played them, I think they were 2nd place in the league, and now they have dropped down to, I think, 6th or so. So SKT1, unfortunately, falling because of Hyuk's bad play. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's Hyuk's fault. It's all Hyuk's fault because Bisu's been playing excellently, but you know he doesn't have enough backing him up. Fantasy's playing pretty well. I haven't checked on Best's record. I haven't seen too many games with him, but you know, I feel like the standard SKT1 guys are all doing their thing, but the Zergs on SKT1 are not living up to their part. But anyways, YellOw coming in with a huge group of Lings, finding a few Lings out of place from Su, and he actually gets inside position, and he's moving directly into the natural expansion of Su right now. There are some flanking. The main group of Zerglings for Su is outside of his base, so they are in a flanking position right now. They might be able to sandwich in YellOw's Lings. YellOw's bringing reinforcements to try and do the same thing, though, so we have a 7-layer burrito of Lings going on right now, and YellOw's are actually going to be able to close in almost. Not quite able to get into the natural expansion to help out that main troop, but that main troop is going to be attacking the natural expansion from Su, so YellOw's natural expansion is up and safe. He is coming in, he makes a nice wall there, a little bit of a sandwich coming in for Su, and this is just turning into total chaos, but I think YellOw has got a little bit of the better of it. He was able to surround a couple of small groups, and he has wiped out almost all of the Lings from Su. He has taken out all but one, I think. A couple of drones had to be pulled off the line too, and now Mutalisk already on the way for YellOw, and YellOw is in great position. Those Lings are going to be able to come down, and they snipe off the natural expansion. The natural expansion for Su is down. All he has left is his main base. His Spire is just now completed, and his first 2 Mutalisks are out, and they're going to be able to deal with these Zerglings a little bit, but that is a lot of Lings. At least 10 Lings right there, doing a lot of damage to those drones. Su has just lost tons and tons of drones, not to mention the huge group of Zerglings that he lost. Finally clears up the Lings that YellOw had, but YellOw still has numbers in terms of Mutalisks, and he is just in a commanding position. His natural expansion is up and running, gas is being mined. You know, I think at this point, with the advantage that he's gotten, he should just put down some spore colonies, but he's not going to get a chance to, because that is GG YellOw with, well, I'm going to go ahead and blame that one on Su. You know, YellOw was in position to make a little bit of attack, and then Su just moved his Zerglings completely out of position to defend his natural expansion. YellOw doing a good job of capitalizing on that, and put Sparkyz in the lead 2-0 against SKT1. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to Game 3.